we must also acknowledge, Dino, that Leeds are actually quite good at football, or have been certainly the last two
good
games.
Week, haven't they? Really
exactly.
Good week,
Bearing in mind, Daniel Farke was on the edge of getting the sack. Lots of murmurings among the fan base a while ago that perhaps his time was up. He's really turned things round, and they're looking upwards up the table rather than over their shoulder. Just say some nice things about Leeds.
Yeah, I think he tried to be too clever at the start of the season, play too much football. And again, with all due respect to Leeds, this is the Premier League. You've come up again from the Championship, and they needed to play to their strengths a little bit more. They did that against Chelsea. You know, big home crowd, like, you know, Elland Road's a fiery place when it gets going, and you know, and then they did that brilliantly against Chelsea, direct, up and at them, make them make mistakes, you know, and they did the same to Liverpool. But then, to his massive credit, he switched it up. So they started as a 3-5-2 because they wanted to make sure they had the cover at wing back. And, you know, it's a bit, Liverpool just couldn't work out who was picking up the wing backs. They started relatively well. They had two up top, gave Liverpool centre-backs a real problem with long balls up to the front two. Gravenberch did a decent job of joining Van Dijk and Konate. But yeah, so they go behind in the game from those two very, very quick-fire Ekitike goals, and then he's got a decision to make. Do we just keep going the way we are and probably limit it to set pieces? But no, he didn't. He brings on the three sort of tricky players in Aronson, in Tanaka and in Nonto, goes to a back four, says to the fullbacks, just play the same way. We're just going to have one less centre-back, you know, and then the two midfield players do brilliantly well to get up and down in there. But then you've got three players who can get in between the lines. So they've then gone to that, you know, one up front in that scenario, but lots more players joining Calvert-Lewin. And as with the Nonto penalty incident and then the stat goal, they get in between those two lines. Tanaka does it the other side, and then Aronson is a tricky player as well. So Leeds actually showed two ways of playing in the second half against a team like Liverpool. So massive, massive positives for them to take. And do you know what? They might not have as good a players as Liverpool, but they certainly had a better structure in defence and attack than Liverpool did.